Yes, I was one of the federal employees that was laid off.
I'm on the way back to my job to see if I got laid off. Bitch, I got laid off.
Hey, my name's Ashley, and I'm one of the tens of thousands of federal employees who were unjustly fired this weekend.
Happy Monday! Just got fired. Holy shit.
This has to have some type of negative impact that's gonna start some domino effect.
Federal employees are getting laid off, and TikTok is furious. From shocking stories to demands for change, we're breaking down the rants you need to hear. Let's start with the first rant.
So I'm here at the VA again because this is where I work. Change that. I worked past tense because right now it's 2 o'clock and I just got notified that my position is no longer valid. And so I am going to go turn in my laptop and go home. Again, my performance was not good enough, even though when I talked to my boss, everybody I work with, including my boss, absolutely loved the work I was doing. But it was nice being here, helping out veterans every day, day in and day out, and doing a good job for my fellow patriots. It sucks, you know. I'm not a Trump supporter, never have been, definitely never will be. But yeah, this is definitely taking a meat cleaver to the entire federal government. And I know my specific position, I was helping veterans and their families seek end-of-life services, mainly making burial arrangements on their behalf, and actually doing funeral services for them. So yeah, it was actually a rewarding job, and look forward to having a good career doing something impactful. And I guess that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to go turn in my laptop and call it a day. And so I just wanted to say again, thank you, Trump. Thank you, President Musk. Let's make America great again, and fire everybody who is a hardworking, somebody who just wants to do a good job for your country and be a good employee and help out. So, yep, going home, and wish me luck in the job hunt.
I've worked for the government for 17 years, municipal, not federal, but nonetheless, it is the public sector. And for the private sector folks that are hooting and hollering that the public sector folks are losing their jobs in the federal government, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know whether there's a misconception that federal workers are not qualified, they're all lazy, the government's just hiring anyone these days, they're DEI hire, whatever you might think. For the ones that are cheering, I hate to break it to you, but many federal workers are extremely qualified, if not overqualified for their positions, going to some of the top colleges, and they're choosing public service. They are choosing a job that might pay a little bit less than the private sector. Maybe there's more benefits. There used to be more security. There's not now. But these people are all going to be going on unemployment, which is also government assistance, which is going to be costing the government money, obviously only for a period of time. And then these very highly qualified, very intelligent workers, again, not everybody, but most, because just like in any jobs, there's going to be the bad apples. There's bad apples everywhere, but most of these people are highly qualified and highly educated. And then they're going to take all their skills and they're going to be going into the private sector, because why in the hell would you want to go back into the public sector? Now, again, not everybody, but most will probably now be competing for jobs in the private sector. And with what they were making in the government, like I can tell you right now, working for the municipal government, I have 2 bachelor's degrees and I have 2 master's degrees. I am absolutely overqualified for the position that I have as far as my education goes, and now my experience, given how long I've worked there. Given what I make, if I went private sector, I could easily take home 50, 60K more with a similar type of job. So now you're going to have all these people, highly qualified, highly educated, a lot of them, going into the private sector, probably willing to take slightly less money than you for the same job, because it's still going to be more money than they were making before. Most likely. Just throwing that out there. The misconception that the government's just hiring these quacks and no.
Fred the Durf got laid off from the VA after helping veterans with burials. Bro, if that's not good enough, then what is? Selling essential oils? Now he's jobless and Trump's out here firing patriots like it's a clearance sale. Meanwhile, at Melinda Spencer's, like, you think feds are lazy? Think again. She's got 2 bachelors, 2 masters, and is overqualified for her job. Now she's warning private sector folks, enjoy competing with overqualified feds who'll work for less.
Maybe I'm just not like well versed in the economy, but all these layoffs have to have some type of like huge ripple effect at some point in time. All these people not having an income, all these people not having a salary, firing all these people, all these federal workers who probably make good money. This has to have some type of negative impact that's going to start some domino effect and then affect, the businesses around that area, because now the people there don't make any money. So then now those businesses don't make money. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitballing, but I feel like this is not going to be good for the communities where these people that are getting laid off live. If I live in a area close to DC, and I run a business and a lot of my clients work in DC, they're federal workers, what am I going to do since none of them have money? Like Mary and her husband, Tom, were federal workers, and they used to come in and get breakfast from my bagel shop every morning before they went to work. Now that they got laid off, they're going to be trying to save every dollar, every penny. So what does that mean for me? That means nobody's going to be spending money at my shit. See, it's going to have like a long effect. Like all these people think it's not going to affect them. And it's crazy. It's going to have a long ripple effect. I can feel it now. If it's not, maybe I'm just not well versed in the economy. But I really feel like a lot of this stuff is going to start having an effect on others that are not like directly associated with the government.
Hey, TikTok. I'm on the way back to my job to see if I got laid off. And I have my emotional support friend to come with me. Alright, I'm at my job. My heart is literally racing, y'all. Like, it's being so fast. My email is loading. I got laid off because I'm still on my probationary period, but my probationary period literally ends in 2 weeks. Well, this is awkward. Not surprised, but this is awkward. And, at the moment, I don't have any way to keep funding my interview series, KB For Real, that you all been watching and enjoying. So, I don't know. I just know that God has something bigger in store for me because this already was a pit stop. So, I don't know, y'all. Just keep me in your thoughts and your prayers. And if you got something out for me, send it my way. I don't know what to say. I don't have the words. I'm just like, what the fuck? I guess my 5 bullet points that I had to send Elon of what I did last week was not good enough.
S'more Perkins is out here warning about the ripple effect of federal layoffs. Mary and Tom used to buy bagels every morning, but now they're jobless. What's my bagel shop gonna do? Bro, if the feds go down, so do the bagels. Meanwhile, at Cakes, Bryant just got laid off 2 weeks before her probation ended. My heart's racing and my email's loading. Yep, I'm fired. She's out here blaming Elon for her 5 bullet points not being good enough. Bro, even PowerPoint couldn't save her job.
Happy Monday, just got fired. Holy shit. I thought it was just like a normal routine meeting. And no, it was actually a we're not moving forward with your employment. And you know what's so funny is like when you think that you finally find like a good job and like a company that cares about you, you're like, oh my god, I actually work for people that care. No, you don't. No, you don't. That was like the only stable thing that I had going on in my life right now. Whew, I was not expecting that. I would have never put money down on that happening. I literally just thought that was gonna be a meeting. Happy Monday.
Yes, I was one of the federal employees that was laid off. And I'm loving all the comments that's coming in because I told myself like, hey, you got a great relationship with God. You have to share this, right? So I want to tell y'all, listen, a lot of things in life we don't understand and we're not going to understand. It's not our job to even try to understand. It's our job to build a personal relationship with God, remain faithful, and walk that narrow path. You see, listen, the reason why I'm at peace is because God has a plan. He has a plan. And his plan doesn't look like my plan. But according to the Bible, if I follow in his footsteps, I will be led to a place that I can't even imagine. So what you think I'm going to do? And that's all I'm encouraging each and every one who's been laid off due to this federal thing. And also the other people who's been laid off are going through challenging times. It's just as simple as that. Listen, things are going to change. There's a huge shift coming. But you know what's even better? If you know that, and I'm giving you a fair warning of this, what's better is this. How about you start changing your relationship with God? We have nothing but time now. We all have to apply for new jobs, start businesses, whatever it is. So dedicate more time to God while you're doing this. And I guarantee you're going to see a huge change in your life, a huge shift. Listen, we can't fail. And I tell everybody this, with God, you cannot fail. God will not let you fail. There are certain things that will take place. You see, the weapon may form, but it ain't going to prosper. So it's certain things that have to take place. And within those certain things, we're building endurance. And you feel me? We're building character. And we have a story. And through that story, we must speak because the only reason you have a story is to tell one. So just remember, stay focused. Stay focused. And welcome to my ministry because listen, everything that's quote unquote bad or whatever you would consider bad. Oh, I show off with God. I turn that 360. I turn that into something beautiful and positive. Listen, I love y'all. Remain hopeful, remain blessed, remain in prayer, and stay connected. We all family.
A Ashley.Uncovered thought she finally found a company that cared. Nope. Happy Monday. Just got fired. Bro, when your job's the only stable thing in your life and then it's gone, it's like getting dumped on your birthday. Meanwhile, at I Am Torun is out here turning his federal layoff into a spiritual journey. God's got a plan, and it's better than mine. He's like, we've got nothing but time now. Let's build that relationship.
Hey, my name's Ashley, and I'm one of the tens of thousands of federal employees who were unjustly fired this weekend. And I want to tell you a little bit about how that happened and why, as the American people, we should be really worried about this. When you're hired on as a Fed, you go through something called the probationary period, which sounds like something negative, but really it's just the either 1 or 2 years after you were first hired where you don't have the full tenure or protections that other, senior career federal employees have. So if you're hired with a disability, which is also called Schedule A, as I was, your probationary period lasts for 2 years. So I was hired as a contractor to the NIH in March of 2022. I was hired on as a Fed in September of 2023, and now here we are in 2025, and I still have about 8 months left on my probationary period, if my math is correct. Now, this might sound really boring, but this is important, okay? So pay attention. The Trump administration has decided that in order to do a wide-scale reduction in force, they are going to just without any regard for who the people are, what their positions are, or their seniority, whatever. Any probationary employee that is still within their 1 to 2 year period is just fired. And that's what happened this weekend in the Department of Health and Human Services and its sister agencies like the National Institutes of Health, which is who I work for. Okay, so probationary employees fired. My colleagues and I all got the same form letter from an unknown HR account saying that we had been fired for performance issues, okay, which, as you can imagine, with no proof to back up performance issues and the exact same form letter sent to all employees, the performance issues really aren't the problem here. So obviously I'm upset, right? Like, I landed in Arizona to visit my grandmother and some other family members, and at 10 o'clock at night I was checking my work email to find this form, termination letter that was sent to everyone else in my position at the agency. So it sucks, right? Like, you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to be fired for political reasons. And there will be class action lawsuits to fight back against this. But that's not really what I'm worried about here. And this is why I want you to pay attention. The team that I worked for at the NIH is the team that directs all of the HIV funding for the entire National Institutes of Health. And HIV funding is what allows researchers to study how to find a cure, for example, or how to implement the treatments that are available so that people who either don't have health insurance or who are poor or who have disabilities or who are homeless are able to access HIV treatment in order to live happy, healthy lives. Okay, so people are just being indiscriminately fired from programs like this. There are also programs at the NIH that study cancer. If your mom got breast cancer last year, for example, the money that is going to these scientists who are employed by the federal government, these are the people who are doing the cancer research, trying to find a cure, trying to figure out the best way to support people who have cancer. Similarly, firefighters are sometimes federal employees. The National Forest Service are federal employees. The Federal Aviation Administration are federal employees who have been fired under this probationary issue, okay? You are worried about air traffic controllers not having enough people to staff the control towers, and we're having more plane crashes these days. Like, these are people who are being indiscriminately fired. And often the folks who are on probationary periods are the ones who are the most energized. They just got out of their PhD program, for example. They're excited to start. They've committed themselves to a lower paying career in the federal service in order to serve the American people. So these are the people who are being fired. Now, if that doesn't worry you, that stuff is fine with you. You want to see the government cut waste or whatever they're saying their excuses. That's fine. But if you care about the programs that help people in this country, often the people who have the least amount of resources, this should worry you. Federal employees are not evil bureaucrats that are trying to take American taxpayers. We are the people who are taking lower paying jobs on purpose in order to make sure that the social programs we have in place in this country are carried out. So if you'd like to learn more, leave a comment. I'm happy to make more videos on this issue, but I want people to know what's really going on.
Hi everyone, please pardon my appearance as it is after 4 a.m. on Tuesday, February 18th. And I wanted to come on here as one of the thousands of federal employees who lost their job with the federal government this weekend. More specifically, I was removed from my position through an email from an unrecognized HR account from my agency around 1 p.m. on Saturday of this holiday weekend. No one within my chain of supervision was involved in this decision. I have gone through the entire range of emotions this past weekend. There is a lot of sadness in my heart. There's also a lot of anger. The firing of thousands of federal employees across the government is going to have detrimental impacts on regular people like yourself watching this video. My position with my healthcare agency was involved in Affordable Care Act, health insurance marketplace policy and operations. And so I was one of the people regulating health insurers to make sure that they were not selling you junk insurance, making sure that they were covering all the benefits that they had to cover, charging you a fair amount of cost sharing, making sure that they weren't discriminating against you based on your health conditions or health status. And with fewer people like myself in the government, you can imagine the impact that that will have on the regulation of massive corporations. And I think that's part of the point of all of this. I have gone back and forth all weekend with what comes next for me. I was a dentist before moving to DC. I graduated from dental school and put my clinical career on pause in order to move here and try to make a difference. I wanted to make dental care more accessible and affordable for people, and I felt like I finally had that opportunity in this job that I was just let go of. One of the hardest parts of all of this is that I don't know if I've really made a difference. I'm really at a loss for direction right now in what I'm doing with my life, and I'm really not sure what comes next for me, but whatever it is, hoping to make the best of it, as we always do, and really appreciate all the love and support of people out there who recognize just how cruel this is. I'm sending love to all of my federal workers out there who are either hanging on to their jobs still or were just let go this weekend. I know the pain that you're feeling, and you know, the entire network has been so supportive, and I want to offer that same support to all of you. If there's any lessons to be drawn from this, it is that we do not need the richest people in the world controlling our government. Our government is supposed to be for the people, and the only purpose of all of this is not to decrease the federal deficit or decrease spending like they're claiming. We make up such a small portion of federal government spending. It's really to decrease regulation and allow businesses to go unregulated and take control of the economy. So I think we're in a really dark time, and it's going to take a lot of work for all of us to rebuild from this, but I am committed to doing that work in whatever role comes next, and I hope you all understand the gravity of this moment and do your own part to chip in. So I don't know what else to say, but for now, just wanted to share my story and send my love to anyone else going through this. All right.
Abayashli Hackett is out here exposing the federal layoffs, and it's not just about jobs, it's about programs like HIV and cancer research getting gutted. I was fired for performance issues with no proof, she says. Meanwhile, at Kacha Morganza got laid off via email from an unrecognized HR account. She was regulating health insurers to make sure they weren't selling junk insurance. Now she's like, what's next? Back to dentistry? Are you affected by layoffs? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the issues that matter. Until then, keep fighting. You've got this.